Welcome, everyone, to the Real Whovians cast, episode 614. I'm your host, Matrix Lord 212, and I have a new member, Phillip Archer. What's up, bro?
How you doing, Joe? Good to be here.
All right, man. I when I first got the friend request from you, I was like, wait a minute, I've heard of him in the circles before, so it was kind of weird. But you know what? I didn't know you used to watch my show and stuff, so thank you very much.
No, it's all good. It's all good. I find your shows are somewhat humorous to a certain level. They're quite funny and very informative as well. And why not? The YouTube's for everybody, and everyone can show what they got to give. So
Right.
thank you for doing that.
All right, so I want to focus on you for the new viewers out there. Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself? And I do have to tell you, I have a habit, which I've been told by many people, that I talk too much. And it's not because I have an ego. It's because I'm so passionate about Doctor Who and these things. So I'll try to limit my speech down. I'm still trying for years.
You know what, Joe? It gives me less to say to the show. And, because I'm not the most world's biggest talker. I can be a little bit, but not always. So it's always good to have someone that can cover the bits that are silent. So
okay,
you keep that.
So why don't you tell me how long you've been watching Doctor Who?
Well, my earliest memory of Doctor Who is way back in 1970 with John Pertwee. And I think, as far as my mind can tell me, I'm 49, I'm going on 50 now. So I've been watching it an awful long time. So my earliest memory is the story called The Silurians with John Pertwee.
Yes.
But I can only remember bits and pieces of it because it was so far back. I was about, 1970? I was about 5? Yeah, right. About 5 years old. So I remember that. But I think I remember most of John Pertwee properly from, say, 1971 with The Master, played by Roger Delgado.
So, interesting thing about the Silurians is that, if we've watched the classics, we were young watching it for the first time, and then now we have the new series connected with the classic, and there are elements in the new series that people be like, "Oh, that's great." It was taken from the classic series. The classic thing about the Silurians was that they tried to take over. The Brigadier made the conscious decision to blow up the whole thing. Yeah, I'll be with you in a minute, Doc. Yeah, I'll see you there, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, just make sure he gets in the car, right, with the companion. All right. Yeah, he's there. He's gone. He's far away. Okay, blow it up.
Let's blow this place out. Yeah.
And the best thing was, poor Harry Jones, Prime Minister, tries to do this again. And the doctor's like, oh, hell no. I went through that already, in my, third incarnation. I'm taking her out of power.
That's right. But it's cool.
It's cool.
I mean, we'll add that, for me, if you a bit more of my favorite Doctor has to always be the late great Patrick Troughton, because although I weren't old enough to see his stories and everything,
right.
When I went back and discovered past Doctor Who beyond John Pertwee, I realised I fell in love with this man. This man, I could have watched Doctor Who 24/7, and he just brought the whole thing alive for me with his expressions, his strange clownness about him. That's why I love the Doctor, and it's also very good to know that a lot of later Doctors have always said that he was their favourite Doctor, and I can understand that, and it's all true. So yeah, I mean the other Doctors they all have their pros and cons, and they're all good in their own way. And
see, my thing was my Doctor was Tom Baker.
Yeah,
I started with Pyramids of Mars, Pyramid of Mars.
Ooh.
And I was enjoying it, and I went through Tom Baker to the end where I didn't know what the hell regeneration was. I'm watching it from Pyramid of Mars on, right? And then I see him fall in the Goblets, and I'm like, what the hell is happening? What is this? And then I was really upset. I was like, I was genuinely upset. I mean, because I was a shock to me. And I see this young guy pop up, and I'm telling my friend, because I got my friend into it, who the hell is this? And then I'm watching Peter Davison, and then I said to myself, I need to know more about the show. I didn't know crap. I didn't know anything about the regeneration thing. So then I went backwards, you know. And then I started watching John Pertwee, and I couldn't get my hands on too many at the time Patrick Troughton's, but of course I saw, like, you know, some good episodes. I saw War Games and stuff, and then I went backwards with William Hartnell and stuff. But, like, you know, I was just like a kid. I was in pure shock when that happened. The moment has been prepared for, and I'm like, you know, it's the end, but the moment's been prepared. It's my favorite line. I say that every freaking time. People have no idea what I'm talking about. And
I mean, for me, when I mean, my first obviously look at regeneration is with John Pertwee into Tom Baker, and I didn't, and me being a 10-year-old, 9-year-old, 10-year-old, didn't really understand what was going on then anyway. And it was sad because I was used to John Pertwee, and it was sad to see him go. But I think the one that made me cry the most was as you said, the Tom Baker into Pete Davidson, the Gobless. That made me cry my eyes out. It's only because John Pertwee, Tom Baker was there for so long. You got so used to him being the Doctor, and when he obviously dies, it's like losing a family member. So that was quite.
And my first experience with loss was not the regeneration, but, you know, him dumping Sarah Jane Smith because he had to go back to Gallifrey. I'm like,
yes,
I'm like, seeing, I'm a child, you know, I'm a child. So I'm like, I don't understand. Like, wait, like, why is he leaving her? He doesn't even give a shit. Like, I'm like thinking about this. I'm like he's just being like all coy about it. I'm like, oh my God, he just left her in the middle of nowhere. And then I'm saying to myself, well, what the hell is going to happen now? Like, she's gone. You know, I was like upset. I was like, oh my God. You know, and then you get new companions, and it's like, oh wow, you know, it's fresh. You know.
Yeah, I mean, I understand that the show has to change over every couple of years, to change its dynamics and how it works, and so that's always going to be a transitional period for any Who fan when we're moving into new Doctors and new way of doing Doctor Who. So, but you know, it's a lesson learned, and I've had so many years of used to that, so I should be used to the new transition of New Who.
See, but I'm not used to it. You know why? Because it used to be about just having fun with it, right? The writers just having fun. Now, and I love Moffat when he wasn't the showrunner, okay? His stories were the best. But now it's like, how could it be fun with him? It's like, I got to have the best cliffhanger ever. I got to have the best storyline ever. This year is going to be, oh my God, what happened? Like, and every year, if you keep doing that, right? It's like, after a while, you're going to give yourself a heart attack, because it's like, you try to make Amy Pond the ultimate companion, okay? You know, on Arthur Darwin, and then you would think it would be over with that. River Song all of a sudden be huge, right? Yeah. And then it's like, but then now Clara, you're making her do everything. Oh, here, choose this TARDIS. Oh, this is, now you're going to be the Doctor because of what I said to you. It's like, holy crap, like she's in everything. And I love Clara, but Jesus, man, there's a thing called personal space. Yeah, you know, like back up. I
know it's been said that Moffat said that Doctor Who is about the companion and not about the Doctor. I'm like, come on, man. What are you talking about, man? And you can't do that, because you're just putting the Doctor into the background and making the companion the uber savior of the universe. No, you can't do that. Right. You can't do that. And it's and these days, what's with the TARDIS not going anywhere but knocking around Earth all the time? I want to go into outer space. I want to go to different planets. I want to see different aliens. It never happens anymore.
It's Earth, man.
Yeah.
So it's like Earth. You went to Earth like every freaking minute of the season. It's like, so it's to me, another thing that bothers me, right, is that the biggest thing with Moffat, and again, here's the thing when people get confusion, right? I always said Moffat was a genius. I always said I love what he does, right? Yeah. But it's not all kiss, kiss, perfect tens. It's when he does stuff wrong, he does stuff wrong. And I'm fair, I think. And when you build up a storyline from season 5 all the way to season 7, and you explain the whole thing in a 2-sentence or 1-sentence thing, oh, Madame Kaveri just, you know, hates you and went through your timeline and whatever. I'm like, what? Like, you built up this whole crap for years, and you explain it in 1 sentence. I wanted to just go there and like choke Moffat for a second. I'm like, what are you doing? Like, I understand Moffat that he thought Matt Smith was going to stay. Okay. Yeah. You know what? Fine. Explain it with Capaldi, but don't explain it in a sentence. Like everything that's happened because of 1 sentence. Like, it's just not believable. It ruins the whole thing. So my problem is when he tries to do, like, you know, if he's doing a cliffhanger, he always screws up the last part. I feel it's like you did the Pandora opens. Oh my God, fantastic, right?
Yeah.
Then you go to Big Bang, and it's like, oh, you were watching Bill and Ted like the week before, because that's their time travel theories. Let me write notes to our past selves and help them out. Like, and that was a spoof of Doctor Who as it is. So now you took their whole theory of time travel and timey-wimey stuff, and you integrated it into Doctor Who, and that's like, ew. No. You know, I had a problem with that because I'm used to the old school Doctor Who way. Not the, oh my God, I mean, if you have to write notes to your past self in the same incarnation, that's a sign of weakness to me. It's like, I don't like that. So, I don't know. It's we just don't. But then we get, I mean, I couldn't wait for Peter Capaldi. I couldn't wait. I'm like,
I'll give you that. I couldn't wait either. It's just the way he's written for me.
When Carol Ann Ford, the Doctor's granddaughter, okay, Carol Ann Ford, when she goes on set of Doctor Who and she tells Peter Capaldi, I love you, you're great, but I don't like the way you're written. You're nasty. You're like a dick, right? And he's just like, oh, you know, what is he going to say? Like, oh, that's not true? He's like, you know, I'm so sorry for that. You know, whatever, I'm a big please. Like, would you be on the show? And she's like, yeah, I'll be on, but like, I don't like the way it is. And of course, Moffat is embarrassed because there's nothing you could say as Moffat. She was on the show from the beginning. She knows, okay? Yes, correct your freaking writing, genius. And that's exactly what he's doing.
But you know what? Some people would say that even when she was originally on the show, her doctor was a grumpy, rude, irascible old man. But there's a different variation of grumpy, irascible, rude type of man. That was fine back there because that was just him learning about the human race.
Right.
You go on.
No. You're right. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, this particular way of doing the Doctor, it just doesn't endear you to him, and it doesn't make you feel safe around him because he's supposed to be your hero in the show. And when you're distancing the viewers from the main character, that's where you're going wrong.
See, I do, as much as I'm not a fan. Like, I mean, all right, Deep Breath was okay, right? I didn't think it was the greatest opener. All right, there was some key moments in there that Moffat put in there that really got me, meaning in a good way, okay? And it was like he wrote him where it's like, oh crap, he could be completely different. He could not give a shit. He could leave the companion to croak. What the hell? And when Clara is just like purely terrified, like when Jenna Coleman's like acting terrified, I believe she's terrified, okay? And she's like holding her breath, and it's like, and then she can't hold it anymore. It's like, and then she passes out, and I'm like, oh my God. And then I'm thinking, like, how the hell is she gonna get out of this? And then the Doctor saves the day, thank God, right? But that, because of Peter Capaldi's Doctor, he's the reason that he made her be like a doctor, because half the time she's trying to have to do it herself, you know? So he made her a stronger companion. But I do have a massive problem with him being a total dick half the times. I mean, my one key thing was, and it's not Peter Capaldi, it's Moffat. The episode with Mars, right? Was it the moon? I'm sorry, Kill the Moon, right? It's like that's not my planet. That's not my planet. All right, see you later, right? I don't give a crap what happens to you. Dude, you're on Earth like every other day for like 2,000 years, okay? I'm sorry, take away 1,000 years for Strenzalore. For 1,000 years, you're on Earth like every other adventure, okay? Like, don't tell me that. And then I'm like, I'm so upset by it, dude. I was like so upset. I'm like, I can't believe they're writing him like this. And I'm like, why are they doing this? And then finally we get the episode where Orient on the Orient Express, where he's like, I'm lying and I have to be a dick like this because of the ending. And I'm like, that still doesn't make sense. Like, why are you doing that?
True. That's one of my favorite episodes. I know. Express. That's one of my favorites.
I know. But it's like, no, you don't need to be written this way. You know?
But what you said about the bit in in Kill the Moo why he left it. I can understand what he was doing. He was trying to give them a chance to stand on their own 2 feet and make the make the decision. But even still, you're right in what you're saying. You're right. He would have done that.
Yeah, that was weird. I mean, but again, we have Dark Water, which was brilliant. Brilliant. And then we get
they ruined the day when
and I'm like, she's like, I did all this because it's your birthday. It's like, what? Wait, what? It's you're not going to destroy the you're not going to kill everybody? Oh, you're not going to destroy the earth because you want the Cybermen to do the Macarena? Like, what are they doing? They're like, calling I'm the robot. Happy birthday? Like, what are you talking about? Like, you are insane, Master. You are insane. Like, it's like, oh, God.
I still can't see Missy as the Master. I try.
I can see.
I look at
it.
I look at her as a separate entity to the Master.
No, I can see. I fully accept her as the Master.
How?
But I do because she's a nasty, evil. She killed Osgood. It's like, oh fuck.
Yes, but anyone can do that. She could be. She could be another Time Lord. She could be another Time Lady and be just.
Dude, that was great. She killed Osgood like she didn't even. I'm like, wow, you know. But then here's the thing, right? People were fighting me on this, right?
Yeah.
Why is it so hard to believe that Danny Pink could get killed and his whole soul gets uploaded into the Nethersphere, right? Yeah. Not only that, but she could travel through time, grab the kid that blew up, put him in the Nethersphere, right? He blew up. He blew up, right? He's in the Nethersphere, right? Why is it so hard to believe that she could zap Osgood and Osgood could be in the Nethersphere? I don't understand why people were like, she's dead. It's over. That's never coming back. What are you talking about? Matrix Lord don't know what he's talking about. Matrix Lord's crazy theories. Go eat a pizza, Matrix Lord. You pizza warden. You know, Matrix. It's like, she's in the Nethersphere, dude. Guess who's right? Yeah, she's back. And she may be a companion because he offered it to her. So people were like, oh, she can't be a companion. Why not? He offered it to her. Since when has he offered it and took it back? She's absolutely the next.
I never even thought about the Nethersphere point of view. That's a good point. I never even crossed my mind. You could be right. She was in the Nethersphere. She gets rescued out of it and reconstituted back on it. Unless the Osgood we have is actually a Zygon, but do we know that?
But if she's a Zygon, she needs a human template to be alive. So she's still in the Nethersphere.
Yes. Yes. Okay. Yep. Yep.
And another thing, Danny Pink's dead. Danny Pink told Clara, hey, I'm chilling in another sphere again. Died twice, but I'm here. Okay? Mm-hmm. He's still there. He's still there in the Nethersphere. He popped the kid out. Here you go. There's all these people in there still.
Fair enough. You said you had one opportunity to do that, to pop the kid through. But then there'll probably be a time when he can pop himself through eventually one day.
Correct. So, yeah. And the people from Into the Dalek, and the people from the Caretaker, and all the people that you're wondering, why didn't they use them in the finale? Why didn't the No-Face Man be used? Why didn't all the people that she saved, Missy? She had to build it for a big reason. They weren't used because they're still in the Nethersphere for the next cliffhanger.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll buy that. I'll buy that. Cool.
That's right. Yeah. So, I mean, don't forget Winston Churchill. They used him in the following season. Mm-hmm. I mean, come on. Wedding River Song, come on. So, why can't they use these guys? They use the people from the Chris Black spot. You know, they used like everybody. Danny Boy to the Doctor, like everybody. So why not?
That's right. I remember that.
Yeah.
You're right.
So, absolutely. So, I mean, I'm just waiting for Danny Pink to pop out, you know. Now, at first, I was really upset about the Brigadier thing. But then when I heard that the family of the Brigadier said that he would have wanted that, I'm like, okay.
But to make him into a Cyberman,
I know, forever. That's like hell.
It's just like, what are you doing, man?
That's like hell. But I guess it beats being in the ground, right?
Yeah, true.
I guess, you know. Where's Amy Pond and Rory Cyberman? They're not there
yeah,
because they're not
exactly.
dead. That's why they're not dead. They're not even buried there, probably, because I'm sure that he plucked them out of there. I bet you,
Well,
right? I bet you righting his wrongs. You know, I still can't accept the doctor leaving the Weeping Angel there to destroy us New Yorkers, because, like, I'm just, I don't want to go on any cemeteries in New York now because the Weeping Angel's running around there. No, I'm just kidding. No, I mean, it's like, you just left this, dude. You left it there.
man.
Jesus.
But I'm surprised they brought back, for thinking, talking about bringing back people. They brought back Ridgely for episode 10 for this year.
I didn't expect that.
Yeah, no, did I? I'm like, okay. So is this another?
Oh, and I'm sorry. I have to apologize to the viewers because I didn't report that because I'm working like a dog, and me and Sharon were having dinner past 2 nights. So I didn't report that at all. So yes, he's back for episode 10.
Yeah.
It's like, how dare you take a holiday, Major? Yeah.
So
look at
yeah.
Stephen Price. Stephen Price, my buddy Stephen Price, 4 times Capaldi. Oh my God.
Yeah, beautiful
You
pictures.
go, Stephen Price.
Beautiful pictures, beautiful photos he's taken. Beautiful.
That's right. And I'm glad now he's got his.
I do love the outfit. I do love the kind of maroon purpley jacket.
Well, I gotta tell you, I am a fan of blazers, as you know, if you didn't know. And I wear like the suede stuff all the time with the black, and I'm looking for like different colors. And that color would be something that I would buy ordinarily anyway. So like I think John Pertwee wore something like that, right?
Yeah,
a green
John
one.
He
wore a green one, right?
Yeah, he wore green. He wore purple. He wore a red one. He wore black one. Right. Multicolored. He wore. Well,
maybe that's why I like blazers. Yeah. I don't know, but yeah. So
but it looks good.
Yeah. We got Osgood for 2-parters. We're probably gonna have Missy for 4, like the beginning 2 and the last 2. I don't know if that episode about Davros is confirmed.
I don't know about that. I tried to look into it. I don't know whether that's true or not as well. Either.
That would be a nice opening for Susan to come back, though, if it was, because the timeline would be changed and she would be in a different timeline then.
Well, that depends. If they set the Dalek story with Davros 2150 and beyond that, then yeah, you can have that. Excuse me.
Yeah. I still don't understand what River Song did to the Daleks that made the Daleks shake.
Yeah, I don't know.
That thing was like shaking and stuff. I'm thinking she's the cause of Davros. Maybe if she fixes it, so Davros does loses legs and becomes blind. She's the one that fixes it when if Capaldi screws it up, and they're like, "Oh my God, look what she did to the creator!" River Song, she did that to Davros. She did it.
Would I like to see her come back opposite Capaldi? You know what? I think that would be a good dynamic to a certain level.
I agree.
So yeah,
she still didn't get the sonic screwdriver. I mean,
that needs to be resolved as well.
I don't think Matt Smith, the 11th Doctor, took her to Singing Towers because they were getting ready to go doesn't mean that would happen, because there was plenty of times the Doctor and Sarah Jane was ready to go somewhere and they wound up somewhere else. So
exactly,
you don't know if the 11th Doctor took her to the Singing Towers. And she says he showed up on her doorstep with a new haircut and suit. I tend to believe that's a code for regeneration, like Capaldi.
Yeah,
I think, and I think that Capaldi takes her to the Singing Towers.
Well, if Moffat's smart enough, he would do that and incorporate that statement into Capaldi's timeline, and that would work well.
And I know Matt Smith was upset about that because for whatever reason he said, he always envisioned just his doctor to be River, no doctors after. But he's gonna have to. First of all, she met David Tennant first.
Yeah, exactly.
And I always thought that she saw David Tennant before that time because she knew who he was.
Mm-hmm.
It's not known a birthday. She's supposed to have a birthday with 2 doctors, if you remember.
That's right. Yes, you're right. Is that the one with the Stevie Wonder one-liner?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, I would think that the 2 doctors would be David Tennant and Matt Smith, possibly. That would be pretty.
I'd like to see her back. I'd like to see her back, but we'll see. We'll see. I can see Mr. Grumpy getting on with Mrs. I shoot them all.
Yeah. I think they would get along fantastic. I think that that would explain the ring on his finger, even though that's his real wedding ring, but they put something over it.
Yeah.
They can make it like he actually married her for real. Like his doctor said, this time I won't be inside a robot. Like this time we'll get married for real. And it's like, I expect to see that.
The one thing I'd like to see, but I know it's because of budget constraints, I would like Missy to have her own TARDIS as well, though. I'd like to see.
She already does. It's just she parked the red TARDIS next to another telephone TARDIS.
True, but
And
we've been seeing her with a vortex manipulator, and I don't want her to have a vortex. That's a cheap way of time traveling. I don't want that. I want her to have her own TARDIS.
Wouldn't it be funny if Missy never encountered Matt Smith's doctor? Because in the 11th hour, when he raises the sonic screwdriver, he messes up that red telephone booth thing, and that was her TARDIS. Wouldn't it be funny? Like she spent the whole time, and she's like, I can't go anywhere.
You stranded me. I'll get you, Doctor.
Like, you don't even know. Something off camera, like they'll get Matt Smith back or something, and then she'll be like coming running out, my TARDIS, and like she'll like run in, like damn it. That's it. Now I'm gonna put a companion in place for you, buddy. I'm gonna give her your number. I'm gonna shape her and that sort of stuff.
Speaking of Missy and her nefarious doings, what is going on with her and Clara at the start of season 9 now? Are they working together to help?
You know what I think? You know what I think? I think there was the 100 places that she was going to see, and they had all her years, and there was a gap between the years. Because I believe when she was young, she got lost, if you remember, right? She was petrified because she was lost, and her mother said she'll find her, right? I think Missy's the one that kidnaps her when she's a child and gets her traumatized, and she's like, and somehow the doctor like did something with like this, like Donna, but kind of blocked out the Missy thing, but she only remembers getting lost and being scared, but she don't remember the Missy thing. But I think she goes back to her timeline and says, come here, you little brat. And she grabs her. and then you see like Peter Capaldi like running after her with her
what if that's the case? What if she is a sleeping agent?
I don't believe that. I mean, Clara's too good. I think that she thinks she can control Clara, but she can't. Because I think that the moment she stepped inside his time stream, there's no control, I think, But
like I say, I am still mulling over the words where Missy says, "Oh, my dear Clara, I chose you well." So I'm thinking, why would she say that if there's not a link to her?
I'm still waiting for the Great Intelligence to come back, because technically the Great Intelligence is not a time traveler, and the Great Intelligence that died in the name of the Doctor, that's not the Great Intelligence that's in the Bells of St. John. Bells of St. John takes place in present day, meaning that the Great Intelligence lives beyond his death in the Victorian era that they went to Trenzalore or whatever. Yeah. So they went from Victorian London to the Trenzalore, I guess, in the future or whatever. But he's still alive in Bells of St. John, and he had a plan that he was doing. So I think he's alive, because if Clara can survive it, so can he.
That's a good point. That's a good point. What about the inclusion of John Hurt as a middle?
Very upset about that. I'm still upset about that, because it kind of crushed my. You know what it was, and we've talked about this on previous Whovians cast. Stephen Moffat, through old interviews, if you watch with him and Russell T Davies, right?
Yeah.
His facial body language when it mentions it, that the 8th Doctor is the one that ended the Time War. It's like he's like, no, like he just can't. It's like they didn't choose the Doctor, It's like, even though it's like he's part of the conglomerate, the UK, like they didn't choose Paul McGann. It's like, how could he be the one to end it all? And it's like, and he's just like, he's got like that bad taste in his mouth. He's like, and then he's like, it's like a thing in the back of his head. It's like, one day I'll make it the way I want to make it, because I don't want that son of a bitch to be the one to do everything. The one episode Doctor's going to be the one to end the Time War. Hell no. And that's, to me, that's like, I always believed it was the 8th Doctor that did it. You know,
it's common sense when you think about it. It's common sense.
it makes no sense to me that there was another doctor that was created. And to me, here's my thing. I was always remembering when after I found out about regeneration and I was watching episodes, I was saying, okay, there's got to be 13 doctors, and then he can't regenerate anymore because 12 regenerations, you don't count the first one because he didn't regenerate. So one regenerates into two, that's one, right?
Yeah,
so after the 13 doctors, they got to find a way to solve it. And I'm saying to myself, why did he rush it? Why did he have to be the one to solve the regeneration thing, Moffat? Why couldn't he just wait naturally and whatever? All right, take into account, for years, me and my friends were speculating, did the Stolen Earth regeneration count, right? And then I would say no, because it wasn't a complete regeneration. But technically, looking about it from the end of time perspective, she's shooting out regeneration energy, knocking down masters like dominoes.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, you know, why does she still have her generation energy in her? What's that all about? You know?
Sure.
Did the master make a house call? Hey, I didn't go back to Gallifrey, but I need your regenerations, Donna Noble. And then he becomes a woman because it's like from Donna Noble. It's like, oh, no.
Oh, that's a bit of a mind fuck. You think, oh, when you say it like that.
Or if he's taking the energy from her and she's like, I'll fix you, like Donna, and she like does something because she's the Dr. Donna. She makes him a woman, the Dr. Donna.
But there is that problem where I have that problem where will they explain why Missy is female master now? Because there's moments that they won't even cover that. And I like my story to be tidy neat boxes. I like answers from A to B.
Now he just screwed that up because it was believed that it was John Sim that regeneration to Missy. Now Moffat's saying, well, how do you know it's John Sim? What if she's like 5 masters after? And I'm like, what? now we got a War Master Doctor thing again. And I'm like, come on. Damn it. And then we got the other thing now. Now we got the nether sphere where, hey, I want a new body. There you go. I don't need to regenerate ever again. I just pop myself a new body every time. Danny Pink, do you want to be an inch taller? There you go. Pop out there. Nether sphere will make you a new body there. There you go.
The one other final thing that I wish I don't know whether it's a good thing to answer or not, is in Deep Breath when the doctor looks at his face for the first time, says, why have I got this face? I mean, and then there was some members that he might even mention. He might go back and explain why he's got a face, but I don't think they're going to do that now.
Because Gallifrey is in Pompeii. That's why. Because that he's going to be drawn to Pompeii because he has to go back to that face, and he finds out that they're in a pocket universe connected with Pompeii, and there's going to be something there that's going to be Gallifrey there, and he's going to have to save him. That's why they chose the face, to make him go where Gallifrey is.
Maybe.
And I always knew since the fires of Pompeii, when they were doing their futuristic predictions, he's like, Gallifrey is lost in fire. That's what I always believed. You know? When he said, Donna Noble, daughter of London. I'm like, oh, she's a Time Lord. That's it. Because he saw the Dr. Donna. He got confused. You know, he saw the future. So he's like, daughter of Dr. Donna, take Gallifrey. Oh, London. Yeah, that's it.
Well, whatever comes this season will come, and hopefully, I'm going to enjoy it. I think I will. I might have a few gripes here and there, but
I don't want the Time Lords to come back.
You don't want the Time Lords to come back? Why not?
Because we're not ready for it. Because let me tell you this: the moment they come back, it's going to be boring city. Okay? Because when they were around, it was boring city. All right? You need a little more time before they come back. A little more time. Okay? You got to build up things. You got to do things with the Daleks. You got to do things. You don't want to have another time war. There's got to be something else happening to stop a time war. You know, they got to make sense. It's got to make sense. So if something happens with the Daleks where they're dealing with an inner thing, then they won't deal with it. And then Rassilon, they also need to explain you're gonna find out when they do come back that they did some shady stuff. I mean, they gave a new cycle regenerations to Rassilon. They probably teamed with Omega. Like I said in previous casts, whatever it takes to win, there are no rules when it was a Time War. He's like, let's just play dirty.
Exactly.
We're getting Omega, we're getting Rassilon. Hell yeah. Everybody. Why not? We're gonna win, mother. We're gonna win. It's like, that's it. It's like, you know, so
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, you're right about Time Lord based stories tend to be a bit boring when it's set on Gallifrey, but they could tweak that. They could reinvent the Time Lords to the point where they make it more interesting again.
they could find Gallifrey and there could be no Time Lords on it. It's like, where are they? You know?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like they're all gone. The whole planet's empty. It's like, where are they? That would be another thing then. I mean, they could do something, or they can make it like the Ood are the Time Lords. They just freaking evolved or whatever, or devolved or whatever, and they're actually the Time Lords, the Ood. Like maybe a million years in the future, the Ood are the Time Lords. And what funny thing is that the piece of irony that they were like slaves to other people when they turned into people trying to have slaves, like they tried to take over everything with besides the, you know, they wanted to destroy the time vortex and be conscious. You know, I mean, what irony would be that they would be the Ood and they would be like controlled. You know, it's like, but who knows? They never even resolved that storyline yet either.
See, so many loose strings. But as we say, we'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
We'll see how it goes. Yeah.
But the adventure will be watching it, and you know, there's a lot of, I have hope for Series 9. There were certain things in Series 8, you know, as you know, I wasn't proud of. I don't like the writing the way he was. But I think that Carol Ann Ford put a little scare into Moffat, and I think that Moffat's going to be writing him right now. So, again, I get my way. I'm happy. So, I think I'm going to enjoy Series 9 a lot.
I'm gonna go into open-minded again, like I did, like I did for last season. And if I enjoy it, I enjoy it. If I don't, I don't. That's how I'm playing it.
I don't look at things like negative. I'm a positive person, right?
Yeah.
Like I have an open mind. I don't have an ego. I want to love it, you know. But my thing is that if I don't love it, I'm not going to lie on camera and say I love it. I just don't love it. That's the thing. That's the thing. Honest, I don't like it. If I like it, I like it. I may like things that people don't like. I love Rings of Power.
There you go. Yeah.
I think like that episode is so phenomenal that you could put that on TV, that episode, without showing anything else, and you could get people hooked on it. Just like, listen, Disney XD, they're smart. They said, hey, you know what? You know what's going to get people liking Doctor Who? David Tennant. They skipped the whole, they put David Tennant on Disney tonight. Tonight, in America, Disney XD, David Tennant trailer is everywhere with Rose Tyler. Holy crap, you don't even know what's going to happen in the next couple of months. All these kids, everything, it's going to be magnified here in America. They're going to, and the next thing you know, you're going to see David Tennant in a freaking Doctor Who movie with all the Lost Adventures, like Name of the Galaxy, Allison, and all this other stuff. I mean, you're going to see all that. So, and then you can see Matt Smith in movies, and Peter Capaldi in movies, and that'll be an open door for that. You know what I'm saying? So,
that's right.
I love it that it's going to be on Disney. I love it. But I could put Rings of Akatan on TV, and that you could have stuff from that, because that's an episode that could be an episode for everybody to begin Doctor Who, because it's exciting and it's on another planet. You know, it's on another area. I love that episode. I can never see anything bad about that episode.
I liked it for what it was. I mean, I was misled to, before it was aired. I misled myself believing that certain things were returning because of the pyramid thing and those whisper kite creatures. They were good, but they were underused, in my opinion, for that episode. You know, like, you know, when
they were cooler than the Whispermen.
Yeah, they were cool. They were cool.
They were cooler. I would have loved to see that. I didn't know the Doctor could use the sonic screwdriver like a freaking thing like that. But I overlooked things. I'm like, this is freaking great. I love this, you know.
Yeah.
And I think like Jenna Louise Coleman was perfect in that. Like everything she said, I'm like, oh my God. You know, like the way she said it was like, oh, You know, like she wanted to be the companion. She wanted to show her stuff, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, oh yeah. It's like absolutely. I'm like, wow. Like that episode. But then there was some flops. Like Cold War. Missed opportunity with David Warner.
Very
He
much
could have
so.
been listen, you gotta use people's strengths. He's a villain. You make him a villain in Doctor Who, okay? You don't make him a good guy. You make him a villain because he could just stand there and talk to you, and you get the chills. You know?
Because I'm a big
It's like, oh my god.
Mm-hmm.
He was Jack the Ripper. He was the devil. I mean, it was freaking Tron. He was everything.
Yes, he
He's a
was.
villain in everything. Okay. Yeah, he's played the hero sometimes, but you know, he's a better villain. Actually, you know.
Because I'm a very big listener of Big Finish Doctor Who stuff as well. And as you mentioned, David Warner has played a villain in maybe 4 stories or 2 or 4 stories in the recent years. And you're right, he's a good villain when he wants to be. So
Right.
I agree with you on that score.
Yeah.
But Cold War in itself, I didn't like. I don't know.
I
Ice
don't
Warriors
like it. I don't like it.
Ice Warriors versus Alien. Come on, man.
I don't
Take
like it,
that.
man. I mean, I didn't give it a failing grade, but I'm like, I think I gave it a 6.
Ooh.
I was like, all right, you know, it wasn't no Love and Monsters, thank God, but still.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't that bad, but it just kind of went off key a little bit with the ice.
That was the worst. That was the worst. Clara had nothing to do in that episode.
No, she didn't. She didn't.
Absolutely nothing. Anybody could have been the companion in that one. Like she did nothing. Literally, like that was like the. And I got to say, it's hard for me because, Mark Gatiss, I like his work, you know, and it's like Adventure in Space and Time was unbelievable, you know, and
yeah.
Robot of Sherwood, but that was just like. I mean, everybody writes a clunker here and there, and that was a clunker to me.
Yeah, I mean, it's all tongue in cheek, but it was just way tongue in cheek.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even Moffat's writing some clunkers too. I mean, you know, everybody's done it.
I had this misconception. I had this worry that because of Blink and things after that, people got this impression that he's Mr. He writes like you said, he can write clunkers too. He's not that all powerful.
But the problem was that there was checks and balances. He was writing under somebody that someone said, "Hey, let me help you. You need to do this," and then he had the perfect episodes. But when he has his own rules, and he doesn't have anybody watch his work, then he's like nobody's there to remind him, "Hey, yeah, did you forget that you can't look at the Weeping Angels even if they're a Statue of Liberty because like you know, you created the Weeping Angels and they can't move." So if millions of people are looking at the Statue of Liberty, you can't move. Like, did you forget about that? Oh, it's like, come on, man.
Yeah,
it's crazy. But I thank you for contacting me today. It has been excellent, and I hope you join us on many more Whovians casts. Usually this is I never really do podcasts early usually, but now like I was actually right in the middle of editing my book and I'm like, oh, any opportunity to do a show, why not? You know, so I put it off again, but that's okay. But you're welcome to do the Everything Show, whatever you like.
Thank you, Joe. I'll be happy to jump on board anytime you want.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. Hopefully we'll be back later, gang, with the Everything Show. There's a lot to talk about. So that's it, guys. Take care. Bye for now.